the democracy in Afghanistan, that is another element of election, that is election. But election is still it is 4 times we have elected our president, but with a lot of challenge, with a lot of problems, with a lot of frauds, with a lot of technical issues and all these things. But this element is going on as a one pillar of democracy in Afghanistan. Human rights, as you know, you all participants are aware, human rights in the Islamic countries, it is one of the elements, it is very challengeable elements to practice in Islamic country, because Islamic country is or constructing their own constitution, constructing their own rules, based through from the perspective Islamic study, Islamic point of view. So human rights means now it's become one of the elements. It started after 2001, and the human rights, all the activists, intellectual people, and they come to in Afghanistan and they support the human rights. Human rights and recorded and included in the Constitution of Afghanistan after 2014. The Constitution of Afghanistan, one of the articles of Afghanistan is allotted for the human rights in the Constitution. So today the Human Rights Commission of Human Rights Department is there in Afghanistan. People are practicing and people are following the rules and regulation of human rights, but there are a lot of challenges and problems. Later on we will discuss what type of challenge will be there, what type of problem still exists. We will discuss about that. But this element is started after 2001, but before that, and before the 2001, you are aware there was no democratic country in Afghanistan. Only the Taliban regime was holding the country, and they were collapsing half part of the society, which is called, that is women's. Girls and women were not able to participate in the government system and the government administration. The women were not able to appear in the community, in the society, to join with the people, work with the people. And also the girls and women were not be able to educate. There was blocked, education was blocked on the face of women. There was, if the screenshot is going to work, I will show there are some pictures, some images are there, which give a good reflection for these points. This means before the 2001, half part of the country, half part of the population was disabled. It was not working. So means after coming the 2001, after the new democratic system is established in Afghanistan, then the Constitution of Afghanistan, the new Constitution as constructed, and the whole human rights, civil society, women's rights, all these are mentioned in the new Constitution. And the Constitution of Afghanistan is constructed one of the best constitution in the in region. So we can say this Constitution is very prominent, very good Constitution is there, but there is a challenge and problem on the practice in all these things. We will be discuss about how it is not practicing well. So another one that is democracy in Afghanistan when come the foreign relation. Foreign relation was one of the prominent aspect in the history of Afghanistan, because after 2001, more than 40 countries they came to Afghanistan and they joined to support Afghan government system, democratic government of Afghanistan. And Europe country, Western country, and Asian countries, they all joined to cooperate with Afghan government, to support Afghan government, and as a financially, as a resource from perspective of resource administration, they supported Afghan government. And also, this was one of the prominent point. Want to mention that Afghanistan was past the history of one of best connection with different countries of the world after 2001. I mean, after 2001, Afghanistan was become well known for the entire the world to as a democratic government is established, and they came together in Afghanistan, and even international forces they joined in Afghanistan to support Afghan government security, army, and all democratic system. So later on, there was another, after all the elements of democracy, after 2001, for constructing the new government, we had another system of supporting the government, that was the traditional common assembly. This is one of the elements is added in the democracy in Afghanistan, because this traditional traditional assembly, or as in Afghan very words, which is called Loya Jirga. And this Loya Jirga was also uh, uh, organized in Afghanistan, and they conducted to people from all corner of the country. They came to join together, and they came to make a constitution to be applicable for all the citizens of the country, without any discrimination, without any putting people on deprivation. So later on, women rights, as it is Islamic country, it is women right is there in Islamic, from the perspective of Islam has given a very good principles and a good support for the women's. But based on democratic government system, there are democratic government system, we are having such a procedure, such a practice, which is come together and join to democratic system of Afghanistan. And that is also that was women rights, gender and equality. Means before 2001, women were post the dark situation and dark condition of on their lives. It means there was no women, girls to come in the appear in the community, society, to join with the government system and all other aspects of the country. So later on, after 2001, the women's, according to the constitution of Afghanistan, women's and male and female, they all get together, can work in the government. They are eligible to and the same right without any putting discrimination. So this means in democratic government of Afghanistan, gender equality is one of the process still it is going on in supporting for different nations of the governments. So we have now screen share screen is possible, sir, to want to show some points. So,
Dr. Rahamani, actually we are short of time. We will have to re-log in within few minutes. And after that, I will transfer the hostship to you. Then you will be able to share your PPT.
Okay, fine. Okay. Now, now I would like to come to and discuss about the challenge and obstacle of democracy in Afghanistan. Now, this was the democracy which I already discussed about all these points. But now I would like to come and talk about what type of challenges facing in democracy in Afghanistan. Despite there are some challenges, still the government who are the top government who was practicing democracy in the world, they are still facing in such a democracy, such a challenge. Like America, still America is facing the big challenge of democracy. Means the discrimination has become one of the elements to practicing, and people are sleeping on the city now. So now we can say Afghanistan is one of the new government and the new democracy and the new election and the new elements of democracy is practicing in the country. But anyhow, challenge of an obstacle of democracy in Afghanistan, the high rate of illiteracy. Why the democracy is not practicing well in Afghanistan? That is because of the high rate of illiteracy. The 3 decades of war in Afghanistan, people, all education system stopped, and the percentage of illiteracy is very high. So high rate of illiteracy, people not aware of what is democracy. The second one, lack of security in a weak government. Still, because of the security, the democracy is not practicing well in Afghanistan. Lack rule of law. As I mentioned, we have very beautiful and nice constitution in the region, but still lack of rule of law is one of the elements today the democracy is not practicing well, because of the people who are very powerful, they can cross from the law, and the people who are weak, they are falling on the net of the constitution, the law. So another aspect of challenge of obstacle democracy is that uh, nepotism system and recruitment of the employment. Nepotism is one of the aspects. Today, the people who are in the power, who is the minister, who is the ruler, who is the governor, he is appointing the people who are relating to him, or who is relating to his ethnicity, who are relating to his own family. This make the democracy it face to the challenge and obstacles to not practice well. Another one is discrimination of religions and language. Today we have 1% of Sikh in Afghanistan. Hindu Sikhs are one of the minority in Afghanistan. Still, as I have done the research on these people, the people of Sikh in Afghanistan as a minority, they are the deprived minority in Afghanistan. There is no number of the people who are in the government system. Even this, there are no students in the school, college, all these things. These are one of the deprivation of minority. Another one can be mentioned, distribution of power based their own ethnicity. The people who is in the power, mostly they are trying to appoint the people who are related to connecting with his own ethnicity. This is against of the democracy, and it is making challenge of democracy. So, and also uh, security and radicalism and extremism or another practice which is in the region of Afghanistan facing democracy to be in the challenge. This is also one of the aspect. Another important point I would like to mention, challenge of obstacle in democracy, is that lack of US honesty to practice democracy. It is